You're listening to Classroom Confessions with Katie Smith, a podcast where teachers share advice, encouragement, and the realities of today's classroom. Hi everyone, welcome to week 5 of Classroom Confessions. So we're now on episode 5, and today we're going to talk about self-care. I'll get into it a little bit once we get going, but I know we've been doing a really great job of taking care of ourselves over the summer because that's what we're supposed to do. So I'm just going to talk about ways we can carry that into the school year. I did want to start today with some updates. I have been working on 6th grade orientation this week, and so in that process, I've been able to go into my classroom. And so today I finished up my desk area, and it just kind of feels like a little bit more peaceful now that I have some of my class together. Orientation is all of next week, so like I mentioned, I'll work a little bit every day on getting my class set up. My rows this week. So each week I like to go over my rose, thorn, and bud. So my rose is something good that happened this week. And this one's kind of like a thorn and a rose. I actually wasn't sure that I would be able to record my podcast this week because yesterday my computer broke down, thorn, and it wouldn't turn on. It was just like black screen, beeping. Turns out it was a RAM issue. So my rose is that my boyfriend instilled all of his confidence in me to fix my own computer, take it apart, pop out the RAM chips, repop them back in after watching a video. And so my rose is that I did. So I am recording the podcast this week. And then my bud, something I'm looking forward to. The school year's getting ready to start. It's always exciting for me to go in and set up my classroom. I take everything down every year, which I know is a little crazy because we don't have to, but putting it back up kind of gets me in the mood to start teaching again. I have a renewed look at my classroom. This week for crazy student stories, I didn't think of one because I didn't think I was going to be recording the podcast. But I would say a couple of my students who just graduated and are going off to college want to get together and go to lunch before they leave. So that's really exciting. Just have to plan that. All right. So for our topic, self-care. Teachers, we are the worst. And I just want to tell you one thing that my friend told me when I started. There will always be something to do in your classroom. No matter if you grade all the papers, if you do all the things, there's always one more thing that you can do in the classroom. And so I just want to encourage you this year as the school year starts to set boundaries for yourself on how late you're going to stay at school. I had to start setting an alarm so that I would know it's time to leave campus. I had moved to Las Vegas. I didn't really have any friends, and so staying at work was totally fine with me, and it made me feel like I had something to do, so I would just stay all the time. And my friend, I believe, Deanna told me that I needed to go home because there's always more to be done. And that's so true. We can always find something to work on, and you just need to set boundaries for yourself to leave work. One boundary I'm trying to create for myself is to not take work home with me and try and leave it at work. That's hard, I know, but that's one boundary I'm trying to set for myself this year. This summer, we've all been taking care of ourselves. We've been doing all the self-care things, whether it's going to the gym or eating or playing with our kids or going to the park or taking a walk or going to the movies, getting our nails done, going for a massage. And I want to encourage you to keep those things up during the school year because we get so caught up in this cycle of work, home, work, take work home, then work. And what am I doing for the students? And is everybody okay? And there's that quote, you can't pour from an empty cup. And so I want to encourage you to do those things, whether it's taking a walk around the neighborhood twice a week, setting an alarm so you go home from work, getting your nails done. Maybe it's just once a month, but going to get your nails done, especially a pedicure, turn on that massage chair and just sit there in the peace and quiet and enjoy it. Like a detox from the day. Sometimes I come and get home, sit on the couch, no noise, and I just scroll social media, not even paying attention really to what's going on, but just scroll. It's a mindless task. I don't have to think. It's silent in my house. And then I'm rejuvenated and I'm like, okay, what's next? Meal prepping is something I do every week because then I'm taking care of me and I have the food that I need to fuel my body so that I can function for the students. Just any little thing that you have done this summer to improve yourself or make that time for yourself is what I want to encourage you to take into the school year. Whether some ideas I guess I've done in the past are reading 20 minutes before I go to bed, making time to go to the gym before school, after school, whenever you go to the gym, making time to go to the gym. I don't know, going on date night with your boyfriend, husband, girlfriend, whoever, but just making that dedicated time where it's not about work. And I think that's the most important thing for teachers to remember is that, yes, we are teachers, and yes, it was a calling, but you do not have to exhaust yourself to the point that you can't function for your students. And I've been there. I've put in the hours, and it's just so much better when you can pour into yourself to pour into your students. So my quote this week, I don't know who it's from, but I already said it once. It's that you can't pour from an empty cup. So I want you guys to remember that you are important. It is important to fill yourself up so you can fill up the lives of these children that are sitting in front of you every day. And I just want you to remember that going into the school year, especially these first couple weeks back. You guys know it's crazy. That first day of school, my bedtime is 5:00, but just making sure that you are making the time for yourself, I think is just so important. Remember, you guys can find us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and Radio Public. Our website is classroomconfessions.net. It has all the resources from our past episodes. If you have any questions or comments, you can email me at classroomconfessionspodcast@gmail.com. And our social media is Classroom Confessions Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. And you can find us on Twitter at Class Confess Pod. Look out this week for a couple of posts about what your rosebud and thorn are so I can share them on the podcast next week. And then also self-care tips. So I want you guys to be able to share with each other how you guys fill your own cups so that you can fill into the cups of the children. So here's your weekly affirmation. You are alive. You are kind. You are patient. You are wonderful. You are fearless. You are important. You can teach anything. You can be anything. You can change the world. You're doing the damn thing. You've made it another week. Bye, y'all.